All right, thank you. So today I'm just going to be talking a little bit about photography because that's one of my strong passions and something that I love to do. So we'll just be going over a few tips on how to take better pictures, and I have some techniques set up that can help you for when you want to take more eye-appealing pictures for if you have a photography contest or if you are just wanting to take better pictures. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll go over. I have a little slideshow. Okay. Can't find the presentation button.
I think at the bottom, on the bottom bar, Colton, it's the one that looks like you're pulling down a projector. I think you just had it. It's that right there. That's the presentation one.
Except for it won't work. I clicked.
Oh.
So I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Try up in the top left. There's like save and then right there.
That's the same thing.
It does the same thing.
It just does it like this.
Okay.
Click view at the top, like on the top where it has the little tabs.
View.
Except for I can't, since I'm sharing my screen, all I can see is the screen share thing and it won't go away.
Yeah.
You can actually move that if you grab a hold of it and you can pull it down somewhere else on the screen.
I can. Oh, okay.
Took me a while to figure that out too.
It's not letting me edit. Like I can't go through my slideshow for some reason. Like I can't do anything on the computer.
Shoot. Well, I'll tell you what. Are you able to open it in Google Slides?
Yeah, like I don't think I can do anything. Oh,
you can share it with us, Colton, if you want to try that. Is it on the Google Classroom?
I think he did send it to us.
Yeah, this one is sent with you.
Okay, I'll share it.
Perfect. Thanks, Stan.
No problem.
Because I don't know. So do you want me to just stop sharing my screen then? Okay.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Okay.
Let me know when you'd like to click forward.
Yeah, go ahead and go to the next one. Okay, so simplification is one of the easiest photography techniques that you can learn. Basically, all it does is it helps you keep your photo simple. You want to basically, it allows for your viewers to focus on the main point of the picture. So instead of having a whole bunch of stuff in the background that, can take your viewers' attention away from what you want them to focus on, and it can distract them. So what you do is you get close up. It's more of a close up type of picture. And you have your background. There's not a lot going on in the background, or it's very simple. So that way your viewers, because like when you look at these pictures, your focus immediately goes to the flower or the toad in the water, and you're not really focused on the water or the blurry background. So this is what helps keep your photo simple, straight to the point. And it's also, it can make for some very interesting pictures because you can see some details that you might not be able to see when you're not zoomed in or you're not focused on the one thing, and then you can lose some details that you want to pick up on. So that would be that one. Go ahead and go to the next slide. Filling the frame. So with this technique, it's similar to simplification, but it can also be a lot more detailed. So you want to move in closer to the subject of your picture. So like the kiwi is really up close. I mean, if you didn't know what a kiwi is, you probably wouldn't be able to tell what that picture was. But using this technique, you can bring out more details that aren't always noticeable to the naked eye. So to do this, usually you're either zoomed all the way in, or you're up closer to your subject with the camera or your phone, whichever you're taking your pictures with. You're up a lot closer, and then you can zoom in some too, and it brings out a whole bunch more detail. Like you can see the freckles or the texture of the skin on the face picture, and you can almost see the individual feathers on the parrot. So it just makes for more, like there's more going on in the picture, and there's more to look at, more interesting things to see than what you normally would see on a normal picture. All right, we'll go ahead, go to the next one. Rule of thirds. If you've heard about photography, you've probably heard about this rule. It's one of the most common rules in photography. So the rule of thirds is saying don't put your subject in the dead center of the picture, because after a while that might get lame or boring. So what you want to do is imagine a grid on your picture, or sometimes some cameras come with the grid setting that if you know where to look for it, you can turn it on. Or sometimes I think even your camera on your phone might be able to do it. But you want to put your subject off center. So like the wolf, like around the corner of the middle grid square, in that area is where you want to put it. That's supposedly supposed to make it look more natural and more appealing to us. So if you put your subject there rather than in the center, it's going to make the picture look twice as more appealing or interesting to the person, and you'll have their focus longer than you would if it was in the center. All right, next slide. Framing. So this is when you use objects or add frame elements to your photos to emphasize and direct your viewer's eye toward the subject of your photo. Now, these frames can be natural. They can be rocks, formations, like the one picture in the middle, they have the tree branches around the mountain. Or it can be even man-made windows, tunnels, like the fingers. It says when you see framing on a picture, you notice what's going on outside the frame, but you're more drawn into, like this first picture with the people walking in the chain. That's much more interesting when you're looking at the whole picture. It brings your eye right there. So it helps direct you to what you want your viewers to look at. And it's an interesting and different way to direct your viewers' attention to whatever you're showing off in your picture. Let's go ahead, next slide. Lines and shapes. So lines and shapes, they can also help direct your viewer's eye toward the subject of your photo. Lines have a way of grabbing people's eyes. So when you see a line in a picture, you tend to follow the line to see whatever's at the end, because you want to see, whether you know it or not, you naturally it's what your eyes do. So you can always use these for your advantage, or with certain shapes, like with a tunnel. You always, when you see a tunnel, you look at the end to see if you can see anything at the end, just because that's kind of what you naturally want to do. So like these pictures, the bridge leads you down to the end of the bridge. Granted, there's not really anything there, but you can see how your eyes will follow the boards on the bridge to the end. And same thing with the tunnel. It is a little blurry at the end, but I mean, when you look at the picture, the first instinct is to go look at the end of the tunnel, and you can use these to your advantage when you take pictures out. No matter what it is, you can use lines or like bridges, ropes, buildings. You follow the lines and those to the end, and if you know how to use those, you can help bring out what you want to bring out in your picture. I think we'll go to the next slide. Okay, so this slide is for in a couple of weeks, I believe we're going to be meeting again and talking about photography one more time. And so using each of these techniques, my goal is for you guys to take pictures, whether you have a camera or a phone picture. You can use each technique and take a picture of an animal, a person, a place, some kind of thing. It can be whatever you want, whether it's something in your house, something outside, anything you can think of. That's kind of your creative, go wild with it. Then I was like, for a man-made object and a natural object, using each of these categories. So that's only 30 pictures in all, and you guys have 2 to 3 weeks to come up with this many pictures. And then I have another slideshow that's going to be put on Google Classroom that will have, each slide will have a title. So simplification, filling the frame, they're titled like that. And then you just put each picture. So all your animal, person, place, thing, man-made or natural object for simplification will be under the same slide. And then that way we can see how well you can improve on your pictures. So this is this slide that you will turn your pictures in on. Let's practice uploading if you have issues. For me, the easiest way I have found out is just to plug your phone into your computer. You can download your pictures from your phone onto your computer and save them that way. And then you can just take them from the computer and upload them on the slideshow. Or you can even leave your phone plugged in and just take them directly from your phone to your slideshow. Either way, whatever works best for you. Those are the 2 ways that I usually use to upload pictures to slideshows.
Do all of you have practice, or are you familiar with uploading documents or files to your Google Drive? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Okay. So if you're unfamiliar with how to upload like pictures to Google Drive, you need to make sure that you have Google Drive up or loaded on your phone. It's just an app. You can find it in the App Store, Google Drive. It looks like a little triangle, like a blue, green, and yellow triangle. So you'll need to find that on your App Store. And then you should be able to click on a picture or hold down on a picture and say share to Drive. That should be one of your options to share to. And then you can even create a new folder just for your pictures in Drive. And that way you can get to them there. But the best way to get to them on your Chromebook, once you've uploaded them to Drive, is just to go to drive.google.com. And then that will take you to your personal Gmail account, your Drive, and you'll be able to find them there. And then you can add them from there into your slideshow in Google Docs. And again, that slideshow will be available to you at 3 o'clock today. It's going to be uploaded to the Google Classroom, so you can start uploading your pictures then. And
for the question that Emily asked, what if our phone sucks at taking images? I know Adrian, she replied with, you can try borrowing someone else's phone, like your mom or dad's, borrow their phone if their phone is better. Or if your mom has an actual camera, see if you can borrow that, or somebody that you know has an actual camera. Those are always good for taking pictures. If you can't do any of those, just try your best, and then we'll be able to see that you tried and put forth the effort just to get those pictures taken and up there. That's the main thing we're looking for.
Yep, absolutely. Does anyone have any questions about the assignment? What you're supposed to do?
So could I just clarify?
Yes.
So students will be turning in 30 different pictures, right? Because we have 6 different subjects, and then there were 5 different, or I think it was 5 different ways of taking the photo.
Yes,
correct.
That is correct.
Perfect.
So again, if you did not write those down, I'm going to share my screen really quick, and you can copy these things down here. You need an animal, a person, a place, things, man-made object, and natural object in each of these styles. So remember, again, the simplification style was very minimal background noise going on, and you're just focusing on the object. Filling the frame, you're in zoomed close. It's kind of like a close-up shot. The rule of thirds, where something is kind of off-center, it's not exactly in the middle. You're kind of following along those lines going this way or lines going this way. I've seen a lot of times that they use that for like the horizon line. So like your horizon is right at the bottom third, and then you have sky for the other 2/3, or the other way around. You have horizon here for 2/3 of ground, and then 1/3 is sky. So that could be a natural scene. And then framing, again, there's some kind of focal point where something is outlining what you're taking the picture of. And then lines and shapes, where something is drawing your vision to the focal point of the picture. So it can be, again, he mentioned buildings, following the line of buildings. It's kind of a different perspective type shot. Where you're seeing something from an angle maybe, and you follow the lines. It could be railroad tracks. It could be a street. It could be anything that draws your line towards something in the picture.
Even if it doesn't seem like it's something that everybody else would think to use, if it makes sense to you, then it would work, because photography, for everybody, photography is different. It's kind of based on how you see the world or how you see what you're looking at. So it brings your point of view forward rather than what everybody else sees. You're trying to show us how you see it through these different ways.
Yes, it pays to be creative and unique.
Mm-hmm. I think that's all I have. Tips for taking pictures, though. I have found that it is easier if you are outside or anything, if you can take your elbows and brace them on something, so that way that will minimize the blurring of a picture. And then always take a deep breath in, and then when you are wanting to take your picture, let your breath out and take the picture at the same time. Because in that way you're steady when you're breathing out, and you just take the picture, and it's helps with blurring or having your picture mess up or not getting what you want to see. It makes it easier for you.
Absolutely. Colton, would you have any advice or knowledge about the infamous, do you hold your camera like this to take a picture, or do you hold your camera like this? Or I guess your phone, do you hold your phone? Which way is better for taking photographs?
Honestly, that depends on what you're taking a picture of. If you're trying to get like a landscape picture, then you're going to want to hold it sideways. Oops. You're going to want to hold it sideways and more like this. But if you're taking a picture of a building or something that's tall, you want to hold your phone upright. Or even you can do the same thing with a camera. Like if you're taking a horizon picture or something off in the distance, then you want to hold it right. But if you're taking something that's more up close or that's really tall or hard to get in your frame, then you're going to want to turn it sideways and take the picture that way. So for that question, it really kind of depends on what you're taking the picture of as to which direction you turn the camera. And sometimes, for me personally, I like to go a little out of the way, and I won't hold my phone straight up and down. I'll hold it at an angle, just because for me, I find that that's more interesting to me personally. So that's what I like to do. I like to do up close nature, and most of the time my picture is angled in some way, shape, or form to bring out. It just makes it look more interesting, or makes you think twice on what really is that, and that's how you capture your audience's or your viewers' interest, is by making them think twice. Wait a minute. Now, is that as really as simple as it looks, or is there more to it? So there are just some tips for when you're taking your picture.
Excellent, excellent. So students, when you go to create your own slideshow, I would use the first slide to put your name, where it says turn pictures in, or I can't remember exactly what it said. Let me see if I can find that again. Yes, picture turn in. So I would use that slide. Let me share my screen again. I would use this slide to make your name. And then if you want to practice uploading pictures, absolutely go ahead and do that today. It'd be a good idea to just get any pictures that you already have on your phone. You can practice uploading them to Google Drive and then adding them to your slideshow here. In the final product, though, you should have 6 slides that are simplification. You should have a slide with an animal, and then a slide with a person, a slide with a place. You can put them all on the same slide if you'd like. That's just going to be very crowded if you're trying to put 6 pictures on here. So I would go ahead and just duplicate that slide 6 times and put a single picture on each slide. Same thing with filling the frame. You'll have 6 different filling the frame slides for each of those different categories of things. Okay.
And I would suggest to make an attempt to try and make all of these somewhat different. So I know it would be very easy to use your fingers as a frame, like we saw in one of the examples, for everything, but try to look for a natural frame or another way you could do that so that you don't have 5 essentially copies of the same kind of photo.
Right. I'm imagining that Colton's going to be checking these for creativity more than an expression of style rather than like quality of pictures. So again, he mentioned if you don't have a good camera, you don't have a phone available to you, do the best that you can. And he's going to be checking mostly for creativity.
Yeah, I want to try to get a sense of photography is all about learning who the person is taking the picture rather than what's in the picture for most of the time. So my goal is to hopefully get to know each of you a little better through the way that you take your pictures. I mean, it might not sound like that's a real thing or a way to do, but trust me, you can really get a sense of who someone is or how they view things just by looking at some pictures that they have taken. So don't worry about making sure they're the perfect picture. Just make sure it's your picture, like a picture that you believe is something that you can really do.
And don't just pull pictures from Google Images. Try not to use pictures you've already taken. Try to be unique and original with what you've learned today moving forward with your pictures. We're obviously not going to be able to tell probably if you have used pictures from before. It's just a matter of whether or not you're going to put forth the effort to take new pictures and try something different.
And if photography is something that you are interested in, I have taken several classes in photography. I have gone to several competitions with photography and brought back rewards. If you want more tips, please ask, and I will be more than happy to share more tips and lessons or ways that you can take pictures and get better at it. And if you're good enough and if you like it enough, you could actually potentially make some money or turn it into something worthwhile to do. So please ask if you have any questions about it, or if you want to go more in depth into it, or if you're really interested in it. I will be more than happy to help you out.
Colton, you didn't tell us you were an award-winning photographer.
Yeah, well, in high school, I went to several high school competitions, and I also went to a Pitt State conference, and I took 2nd place in the art photography picture competition. So
wow,
I really enjoy.
Have you done any of the old school film photography where you had to actually make the photographs?
I have not, but that is something that I would really like to do. But nowadays, that's really hard to find the stuff, and it's a little more expensive. So I have
Yeah.
not done it yet, but I would like to eventually one day.
Very cool.
And I saw that somebody post, Michael, you said that you have a lot of pictures of plants. If you want, on the slide where it says practicing uploading pictures, if you want to put some of the pictures that are maybe not for the actual assignment, but if you want to put pictures that you guys have already taken or some pictures that you think are just totally awesome, go ahead and put those in there, and I'd be more than happy to look at them and tell you what I think, or even what, you know, I can help you out, better ways to take pictures if you want, or anything.
Excellent. Does anyone, oh, sorry, Adrian, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, I mean, that's really awesome feedback. I mean, I would encourage you to take it seriously because you have someone who has an, what would you say, a refined palette when it comes to photography, who can give you some actual feedback if this is something that you want to pursue, or even just be better at taking pictures, you know, selfies, whatever. And then last, I was just going to mention that we are going to come back to the photography topic. Colton will speak about it again on the final week, the last Monday, August 3rd. So Colton, do you have a specific time you'd like them to turn these in by?
If all possible, I would like to have you then maybe before this final session, so maybe I could pick several of like the, you know, some that I really like, and I can show you guys or give you some examples of what other people have turned in, so you can get some ideas or help you if somebody's really serious about it. Then maybe I can give you some tips and pointers on how to get better, or even show you where you can go to learn to get better. So I don't know, maybe the Friday the week before, so I can go over them that weekend.
That sounds great. So that would
Brilliant.
be July 31st. Everyone, the end of this month is your due date for this slideshow. So you have
Like 3 weeks.
About 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah. So that should be plenty of time to take 30 pictures. Just go ahead and get those. Yep, Adrian's put that due date in the chat. So write that down, put it on your calendar, put it in your journal. The 31st, July 31st is your due date for this slideshow, the photography slideshow.